everybody, I'm Jen. Today I'm going to be doing this video by myself and we're going to talk about 5 games that make me feel good. So I got this video idea from Beyond Useless Media, Speedy, here on YouTube. If you guys haven't checked out his channel, it's fantastic. He makes me laugh every time I watch his videos. But I don't want this to be confused with games you're nostalgic for, because I think that's a little bit different. Or, I guess, games that are more cozy games. I don't really think those are the exact same things. These games, for whatever reason, just made me feel very zen. They were nice to jump into. They might not be the easiest games. They might not be the most calming games, but they just made me feel like I was having a fun time. So that's why we're talking about them today. Now, I do have a pretty diverse list. Some people would question maybe one of them on here because I'm not often playing games in this genre. The very, very first game we're going to talk about, though, is Yoshi's Crafty World. Now, I love Yoshi's Crafty World for so many reasons. Number one, anybody who knows me at all knows I'm a big arts and crafts types girl, so having that all in the background was really cool to see, just to be like, oh, that's a pipe cleaner, or that's a cardboard tube, or this is this and that is that. Just picking all those out of the background was really fun. But the game itself is very light and airy. There are some challenges, but it's few and far between. It's just mostly really fun to jump into and have a great time with. I played this a few years ago. Did not know at the time that it was a co-op game. I only found that out when I watched a fellow YouTuber talk about it not too long ago. And I would have played a co-op. Maybe Scott wouldn't have been as into it, but Alex and I played Luigi's Mansion 3, so he might have played Crafty World with me. Maybe I get him to do it again at some point. Okay. So number 2 on the list is a game that most people would probably not think I would mention, because I complain all the time about how much I'm not good at racing games. However, I do love this one. It's Wreckfest. It's a game that we just kind of stumbled upon on the digital store, picked it up. I think it was one of those free-to-play games that you could download. And not only is the point of the game to try to get away without the least amount of damage, and obviously you're trying to come in first, visually it's stunning and it's a lot of fun. I especially enjoy, there's a figure 8 race where you're kind of going up a hill and then back down, and then there's this big bowl at the bottom where there's so many cars you have to try to avoid all the mayhem. That's probably my favorite race. But then there's also like races that you have to cross the finish line and then come back the other way. So you go one direction, you come back. I think you also can pick like a lawnmower race in this. Different cars you can pick. It's just a fun time where you can create a little bit of destruction and mayhem, and we've had so much fun with this game, just even passing the controller back and forth. I highly suggest Wreckfest if you're looking for something to just jump into that you don't need to spend too much time, and then you can just put it away. Alright, so number 3 on my list is not a console game per se. It is on the Oculus Quest, or MetaQuest, however you like to call it. I can't get enough Beat Saber. Like, my arms are swinging in beat with the music. I'm having a great time. I'm kind of dancing at the same time, singing off key, having a blast. It's unfortunate you can't play any of the music for this game because copyright, am I right? But just playing Beat Saber, I'll play it solo. I don't necessarily enjoy playing it against people, but what my sister-in-law and I will do, we'll go and get high scores for each song and then try to beat each other's high scores. So getting a little bit crafty with being like, okay, maybe these notes can disappear before they can come up. That'll give me an extra bonus. maybe I can speed it up. That'll give me an extra bonus to push me over the edge. Number 4 on my list, again, is a console game, but that's not the way I play it. It has to be this guy right off to my side. We have the Pac-Man arcade. We got this a few years ago because Scott moved our Keezer and he said I could get an arcade stand there. I really think he just wanted an arcade stand, and I thought if he was going to give me the option to get anything I wanted Pac-Man. Now this one has a lot more than Pac-Man on it. It has Mappy, it has Dig Dug, it has some old arcade favorites that I think pretty much anybody would get enjoyment out of the arcade stand. But for some reason, Pac-Man just seems to be the game I pick every time I want to play the arcade. It's just familiar. It's something from my childhood, so yes, I guess it does blend a little bit into nostalgia. But when I'm thinking about playing something that just brings me joy, that is more of a time filler that I don't have to commit a bunch of effort or time into, I'll play that. Doesn't mean it's not challenging, doesn't mean I'm good at it. I just enjoy playing Pac-Man simply for the fun of it. All right, and very last on the list, I could not make a video without throwing in a co-op game. Now, this is a game we talk about often, but have only played once. It has to be Mercenary Kings. Every time we sat down to play Mercenary Kings, there was challenge to the level. Some of them were downright annoying, but when you would get past it and you'd finally beat that level, it would bring you the most amount of joy. So you can see that in the picture on our home screen. You can tell that we were elated to beat the game, and I think very few games hit as hard as Mercenary Kings, and I don't think it gets talked about enough. All right, so that's 5 of games that just make me feel good. 5 games that put me in a good mood, to make me happy. Thank you again so much for watching. I would love if you would want to do a video of this as well. What are 5 games that make you feel good? 5 games that just set you in the best mood for the day. If you want to do a video response, I would love to hear it and tag us in it so we can see it. And with that being said, until next time, game on.